So, guys, we already covered some of the revelations that have come out about Chris Cuomo and him being fired by CNN for all of the things he was doing behind the scenes to try to protect his brother from any sort of allegations against him. But one thing that was lost in the new revelations that New York Attorney General Letitia James had put out of all these text messages flying back and forth between Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo's aides and all these people is the fact that to try to rebut the multiple allegations of sexual harassment, at least one instance sexual assault against them, the playbook that they turned to was the one that Joe Biden used on the campaign trail to rebut the allegations that he was facing by Tara Reade. So the Biden campaign effectively set the playbook for how Cuomo then responded and tried to dismiss all of the allegations against him. Let's put this Fox News tear sheet up on the screen, which has the details. The headline is Cuomo aides discussed Biden's response to Tara Reade claims after Lindsey Boylan went public against the governor. Let me just give you some of the specifics here, because this wasn't just like, oh, what did Biden do and trying to remember. No, they were like very detailed of we are going to do it exactly like he did. One person said, pull what Biden said when he was accused during the campaign. That was a message to top aides Melissa DeRosa and Rick Azzopardi. This absolutely did not happen, Lever then wrote, quoting the Biden campaign. He firmly believes that women have a right to be heard. This is just direct copying and pasting the Biden language and heard respectfully. That was what Deputy Campaign Manager Kate Bedingfield had said. Such claims should also be diligently reviewed by an independent press. What is clear about this claim? It is untrue. And then they also said, I think the disgruntled former employee needs to come from a source or other Cuomo employee. Truth is, she stormed out, Lindsey Boylan, over allegations of her own misconduct to female employees and begged to come back. I think we can victim shame on the record. These are the discussions that are going on. And later on that day, this aide told Team Cuomo, quote, and Biden camp never mentioned Biden in the denial part, only the part about women. It elevates it. This will be a Cuomo's box who says there's simply no truth to these claims. So from the language to the approach to who is going to do the pushback, all copied from Joe Biden's successful efforts to sideline any traction with the Tara Reade claims against him.
Yeah, and I think it all is just much more structural in terms of how they see the Me Too industrial complex or whatever at the time as just so much on their side. Remember, Tara was famously denied by, what was it, Time's Up or whatever? They didn't have a representation. Oh, turns out the Time's Up CEO was in league with the Cuomo brothers in trying to demonize and deflect against the people who were going after Andrew Cuomo. I mean, you just saw how on the CNN side, it completely fell apart. On the Time's Up side, it falls apart. On Cuomo himself, all three of these people, supposedly some Me Too, activists, Chris Cuomo famously covering it all the time on his show saying, I'm on the side of women, I'm on the side of Me Too. Now, it turns out he was actually ousted because of a new Me Too accusation. Same with his brother, Time's Up, having the Time's Up organization themselves be involved in the movement, corporatizing it, using their connections to the Biden campaign. So yeah, in a way, they had the right playbook, right? It worked. Worked for Joe Biden. They bought off everybody at the top and they turned it into a weapon that they can use against people that they don't like, and then they can keep it as a defense against the people that they do.
The one person who really they didn't count on was Letitia James.
That's right.
I mean, she's the one who did the initial investigation and did an effective enough job that there were so many claims that were made, there was so much evidence to back it up that he couldn't rebut it. And then the latest drop of information also coming from Letitia James with all these text messages, there was just no denying what was going on, both with Chris Cuomo, with Andrew Cuomo, but also with Chris Cuomo. So otherwise, yeah, he had all this institutional protection. I mean, you really come to realize between Biden and Cuomo, Time's Up was not set up primarily to help women tell their stories or whatever BS they say. No, it was set up as a gatekeeping device to make sure only claims that were going to go against Republicans ultimately got heard. This was also a mechanism to protect the people that they cared about ascending to political power. And so when it came to a Biden allegation, when it came to a Chris Cuomo allegation, well, those they pushed to the side or actively engaged, in the case of Cuomo, in the cover-up. Same thing, Human Rights Campaign, which is
gone. Alfonso David.
Civil rights organization, supposed to care about social justice, and the dude who is at the top of the organization gets caught also engaged in similar cover-ups and trying to pull personnel files of Lindsey Boylan in particular to try to smear her. I mean, it's pretty outrageous and pretty clear that this is why he was able to get away with this stuff for so long. He has his brother protecting him with CNN from the press. He's got these supposedly Me Too organizations that are gatekeeping and protecting him as well. And so it really took this report to expose what was going on. And it's always worth saying, too, that the Me Too stuff, because it involves sex and it's salacious and all of that, grabs all the headlines and was what ultimately forced him out. But never forget the stuff he did in the nursing homes, cooking the books, lying about the COVID numbers, using his staffers who were supposed to be frontline, like responding to a coronavirus pandemic that was decimating the city right then. And instead, he's using them to write his book so he can make millions of dollars from an advance, giving VIP access to his brother. I mean, all of these things, every single one of them, utterly disgusting, morally reprehensible, and certainly impeachable. So we never want to lose sight of just the full picture of the many crimes that Cuomo was committing while he was in office.
Absolutely right.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll have more for you later. Hey, guys, thanks so much for watching.
That's right. Just as a reminder, you can become a premium subscriber today. Watch the full show completely uncut, our reactions to each other's monologues. You get to listen to it. You get to ask us questions, all that good stuff. Link is right there in the description or at breakingpoints.com.
Best of all, great way to say screw you to the mainstream media.